You need a dose of this.
Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've done one of these shows, and today I have a very special guest. If you look at my hat, you probably already know what I'm talking about. Miss Laurie Calcaterra is waiting in the background, and I'm just going to bring her in because that's how we're going to do it tonight.
I was waiting for you to say, we're just going to leave her back there for the entire
No, Laurie. No, we are bringing you in,
And yeah, we're
Thank
going to see her
you.
tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, right. Thank you for joining me tonight on
Yeah.
a special edition of You Need a Dose of This. We're going to be talking to you about your campaign, which is live right now, Path
Mhm.
of the Pale Rider. That is live on Kickstarter. Now you have about 3 days. Damn, 3 days left.
I know, it just
Oh,
flipped to 3. And
it
at
just,
some
right?
point, it flips to hours, and that always freaks me out. I'm just like, oh no. It's
Dude,
fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's fine.
it's crazy how
Fine
that
here.
happens,
Thank
right? Like,
you.
let me just pop it up real quick. We're going to talk a little bit about like our path into self-publishing, but I did want to
Yeah.
show everybody the campaign real quick, and we're going to go back. We'll go back to chat and just this is where we're at 7628, 115 backers, 3 days left. I'm very proud of what you did in this campaign, Laurie. I always
No.
love all of the stuff that you put into your campaigns. Look at this cover here. Oh man. You
Legs.
know, he gives me Tony Montana
Yes,
vibes,
that's
Scarface, you
That's
know?
what we were I would say we, but that's Gilbert and Matt, and that's what they were going for. It's 100% what he's going. And, I love this because, again, anytime you look at my covers, we're telling you stuff about what's coming, right? So
Right.
Jude looks a lot different
He does.
from where we left him,
He
and
does
there's a
look a
pair of
lot.
legs, and he's got this look on his face. So, is it just a pretty girl, or is it someone important, or
Right.
who is it,
Okay.
You
Nice. I
never
love it.
know.
I love it.
Mhm.
By the way, important to point out that you are not just somebody who puts campaigns out, you are somebody who supports a
Yeah.
lot of campaigns. You are nearing 200 backed campaigns, Laurie.
Yes,
Incredible.
I need 3
Incredible.
more,
Three
and I'll
more.
break that number.
Listen, I feel you. I understand the need to support fellow indies.
Yeah.
We work hard at these books, and but let's talk a little bit about what we've been doing in the indie game. I've
Yeah.
been doing this for a long time. You started, was it right before the pandemic, Laura, or right after the pandemic?
So I started before the pandemic, and everything crashed and burned because of the pandemic, and then it
Right.
took me another 2 years to kinda find my groove, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had started January 2020, and I had a completely different team, and, it's like, as soon as the pandemic happened, it was just nothing but bad luck. Like, one artist got COVID, and then the colorist, a tree fell on his house.
Holy cow!
I'm
No
not joking.
way.
And then the other guy got COVID, and then the first guy, the inker, a Pennsylvania inker, he lived in an apartment complex, and there was a shooting in his apartment complex, and they decided to move. Um, and then he moved into the new place, and then the ceiling collapsed in his brand new apartment. I'm not joking, like, they would back and forth, they had COVID, and then back and forth, like, it was just terrible timing, and, at some point, I was just like, "I love you both, but I'm pulling the plug on this, like, it's nothing is happening, and I can't do it." So, lost about $800, and,
I didn't know that. Wow, that's crazy.
yeah, took a back seat, and, I had thoughts about it, George. I was like, "If it's supposed to happen, then I'll find the right artist."
Yeah.
And I looked at a book, you look at 1,000 portfolios when you're looking for the right person, and just
Mhm.
none of them felt right, and so it took me another 2 years before I met Marco. So I met Marco DeFio on Facebook
Yeah.
in a group called Connecting Comic Book Writers and Artists, and, we I think I launched that first Kickstarter March of 2022. And that's
Wow.
where we started. So the book printed July of 2022. That was our first book in black and white.
Yeah, I remember that one. I
Yeah.
have that one. I have
Yeah.
the first black and white book, and then you colored it. And
Yeah.
and
It
and
wasn't
you've
until
got color
later.
tones. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, I guess my entrance into publishing happened obviously many, many, many years ago. It was like '03. That's when I met Sam. And
Right.
and we started self-publishing. And back then, we didn't have the Kickstarters and we didn't have
Right.
print on demand was fairly new. It wasn't what it is now. There was, I forget what it was, what the company was called, but it wasn't what it was now. So we knew a guy who worked like at a bank or something. And like after hours, he took our files and used their big time printer to like print a couple of like 500 copies of our books, basically.
Wow.
We paid him like $1 a book, and we folded and stapled the books ourselves, and we took them to the convention, and we started, self-publishing, and that's how we started. So like it was very different.
Different.
Yeah,
Right.
very different than what it was today.
And I think COVID changed a lot.
Yes.
Even like it was different, and then it was like early 2000s. You know what I mean? So, and then and then COVID changed everything.
Yeah.
Everybody then just went to Kickstarter, and that was where I started. But I had still had no idea what I was doing. You know what I mean?
No,
First
no.
campaign, nobody knows what they're
Yeah.
really getting themselves into.
Yeah. I mean, and that was the boom, right? Like Kickstarter was like the pandemic. Unfortunately, it was terrible. So it was a crazy, scary time. And because we couldn't get out and conventions
Right.
shut down and comic book
Right.
shops shut down and all that stuff shut down, we needed something to do. And so we decided, a lot of people decided, you know what? When am I going to do this if I don't do this now? And tons of books came out. A lot of artists and writers decided, you know what? Now's the time. Now's the time. And they went ahead and did, and we had this boom.
Yeah.
And it went crazy. It went crazy.
Personally, I know I was not sleeping. So I think, a lot of people were not sleeping. So it was a great time to just sit down and create stuff in the middle of the night while you sat up wondering what the heck was going on.
Well, and that's the thing. It was scary, right? Because it was like, if I don't do this now, will I ever do it? Like,
right.
We were worried about our mortality at that point.
Right.
Like it was that serious. Like 2020, March, April, May, like, into the summer, you had no idea what the heck. I remember saying that somebody got COVID was like, oh my God. It was like a death sentence.
In the beginning, absolutely.
In the beginning.
Oh my God, they're gonna die, right?
Yeah.
And then do you remember going to the grocery store during that time and being like, is this the apocalypse? Like everything's gone.
Everything's gone.
There was nothing.
And you had to go at a certain time because the early times were for the older people because they couldn't, they were more susceptible to it. So they had to go in at a certain time. You had to come in after a certain, like it was a crazy time. It was a crazy freaking time.
I felt like it was an episode of Chopped, where you're like, all right, I got frozen cauliflower, hollandaise sauce, and like vegetarian hot dogs. What can we make?
It was insane. But a lot of books came out. And I think, and that's what I wanted to actually ask you about. So like when you first came out, and I know that, we've talked a lot. Obviously, you and I, we know each other outside of this. So I know a lot about your story as far as like, how you came up with the story and all that other stuff. And like how originally it was a movie script. It wasn't a comic book script. And I think it was your husband, right? That said, hey, why not try it and make it into a comic? And so self-publishing became an option at that point. So like, obviously as a newbie coming in, where did you look to see, okay, how do I do this? Like, what was your process to finding out, okay, how am I going to publish this thing?
I really had no idea what I was doing, right? Okay. That very first campaign, the only way I think I was successful was because I hired Jeff Haas to be a publicist. And he's the one that introduced me to the community and got me on all of these podcasts. It wasn't until I started podcasting that I met people in the community and really started to figure things out. Um, so my plan was to see if I could make the first book and then see what happens. And then everything changed. Everything changed
Mhm.
after that first campaign, for real. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like once we were funded and I like Pops Van Zant found me too. Let's just be
Mhm.
honest, because I went on, I forget which show, and he was just like, "You're amazing. You need to be one of us," and just
Right.
kind of adopted me at that point.
Mhm.
And so that's, really my foot in the door into becoming a podcaster was because Pops believed in me. I started coming to the Tuesday Morning Brew when it was just like, what was it? Like, it's just like a panel show and they would talk about anything. And it was like what we had for breakfast. And it was so random and it was not the greatest show. And then that's when Pops was like, we're going to change all of this. He's like, I want you to take it over, and I was like, sure, but I don't want to do a panel show anymore. I want to interview people. And he was like, you can do whatever you want. You know, so interviewing people that way really gave me much more insight. I
Right.
really feel like, when you podcast and you get to talk to other people, because you're gonna meet people at different points in their career, right? But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that even the newbies don't have something to learn from
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they all just have some great ideas. So, I mean, learning the community, talking to the community is really what, solidified my plan into self-publishing and then eventually, finding publishers. So,
Yeah, no, and I think that I guess that was it for you, right? It was
yeah.
Kickstarter. It
Mhm.
wasn't like, oh, let me go find a publisher. Let me go find. It was okay. I have this story. There's a thing called Kickstarter that crowdfunds campaigns. I need somebody to make this story work. Let's go
Yeah.
there. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I'm a realist. I realize that there's no way that me with a script is gonna be able to go to Image
Okay.
Comics and be like,
Yeah.
"I got an idea," and they're like, "You're
Right.
hired." No,
Right.
not
Right.
gonna
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
But that was, same thing with the movie script because I have this incredible story, but I don't have any credits behind me, right? And I don't have an audience, and I don't have like, I don't have social media built.
Yeah.
I don't have a top 10 New York's best-selling book. So why would they pick my script over the 800 other scripts that show up on their desk every day?
Mhm.
See what I mean? So I was like, this isn't something that's gonna just immediately get picked up. So I knew I had to put the time in, to put the work in, and to build, before I could present it to something bigger. So that I always knew that. So
Yeah.
I came ready to work and I came,
Yeah.
ready to play. So
Yeah, I remember, and then going back to like when I first started with the self-publishing, that it was either back then. I mean, obviously, there's always been like the big two, Marvel and DC.
right,
Image was around, obviously, Dark Horse and all that other stuff. But to your point, these, they weren't picking up just randos. Like,
right,
like how did they know what we were doing was going to sell? And to be fair, a lot of the stuff that, I mean, I'll speak for myself. The stuff that I was putting out wasn't professional looking. It wasn't something that, oh yeah, they were just going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to pick this up. Image is ready to, knock on my door.
right.
So I had to self-publish, and I had
Exactly.
to kind of like just go out and go to the shows and get a table. Luckily, we were able to get a lot of free tables at Big Apple Comic Con, because we did a lot of their marketing, a lot of their advertising. So we were able to do that, and that's how we were able to get into the Comic Con. And we met guys like Brian Kong and people that we still, JD Calderon. I met him
Mhm.
at Daphne Lage, and so and we became friends. We became buddies, and then we all just helped each other out. Oh, look at Michael San Martino is in the house. Half of the crazy on a Monday. um, so yeah, so it was that, but it's so funny how like things are different, but they're the same in the case that we have
Yeah.
to do it on our own in a sense. Because like
Well
to your point, who's gonna pick our stuff up?
well,
Who's
and I
gonna do
mean,
this?
do you need someone else's permission to get started?
Right.
You don't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are an adult and you
Mhm.
are fully capable of starting your story. And I'm a firm believer of learn by doing. So if I want to learn it's that's the course of anything. You learn by doing, you learn from experience. And so get in there, get in the trenches, start working on your stuff, start self-publishing. You're going to build your audience. You're going to hone your craft. And it's like, if you're going to get noticed, it's going to be because you're already putting stuff out, not because you're sitting there with the script asking for some eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for
That's
sure.
what they're looking for now. Someone who's going to take the initiative, start everything themselves, build their audience, have a social media presence. Those are the people they're looking for. It's guaranteed dollars. That's what they want.
Yeah, no, for sure. When I was like last week, was it last weekend that I was out there? When I saw you guys, Sam and I were talking about how much everything has changed. And
Yeah.
while we think about it, we're like, oh man, it was back then, it was very hard to find an artist. Like there was no Instagram, there was no
Yeah.
Facebook, it was like digital webbing, and it was like deviant art, and
Even art. Yeah.
yeah, and those were the websites where you went and you tried to find talent. You said, hey, I got this book that I'm doing. That's how it was. Now it's a lot
Yeah.
easier, but I will say this, even though it's easier to get an artist, now I think there's so much competition as far as like everybody's looking for an artist. So
Yes.
it's
Well,
become
and there's so
harder to find,
many
and
artists.
there's so many, right?
And how do you know, and again, you're looking at portfolio, but I want to know like references, and I want to know who they've worked with. Do I know them? Are they easy to work with? Are they hitting their deadlines? Are they completing their projects? Are they promoting
Yeah.
things when they're live? Like there's all of that goes into it too,
And back then, Laurie, like
Did
the
you
cost
even
the cost of artists, they didn't know their worth, so to speak, back then. Because if they weren't working for the big two, they were still amateur artists that you can say to them, hey, work with me for exposure. And that was the big thing back then. Work
exposure?
with me for exposure. Let's, if this takes off, you get paid, and we'll all get paid. And that's what a lot of artists did.
Really?
Yeah, or they worked for dirt cheap. I remember my first book cost me 22-page book, cost me $500 to produce. Pencils,
Wow.
inks, and colors.
Shut
$500
up.
for one issue, one 22-page book in 2003.
No.
Granted, they were international, but you can't get an international artist today for $500 gets you maybe 2 or 3 pages, 4 pages. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a whole different ballgame. So while it's easier to
Yeah.
find an artist, it's still now at a zero on that. Yeah,
Yes.
$5,000. Right. That's exactly what it is now. So yeah, I mean, I can say, oh man, back then, it was we had it tough, we had it hard, but now the money it's
Yeah.
tough to produce a book now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very hard to produce a book now.
And crowdfunding is that double-edged sword because it's there, and if you can utilize it well, you can be successful, but so is everybody else. You know what I mean? Like everybody else can be on Kickstarter and like, oh my gosh, this month there's
Yeah,
been so many live campaigns and I've backed a ton of them just this month.
right.
So I mean, like it's competition and it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at some point, like I backed, I don't know how many this month, but at some point I have to be like, okay, I need to turn this off. My credit card is
Yes.
hurting.
Yes.
But it took me how many to get there? So
Mhm.
it's not really competition. It's just depends on how much spending power the person has. Because if it's just me and you that are live, it's an easy sell. You know what I mean? Because you would like George's stuff, you like my stuff. Great, you can back both of us. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, for
But
sure. Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
hard, and it's hard to as an indie to get just to have people know you exist,
Well, I
right?
think I think that that's what makes people nervous about supporting or telling people about your book, because if they're looking at your book, there's only so much money to go around. They're going to support your book, and they're going to have to make a choice. It's either Lori or George, and that's why I think people are hesitant to like try to help each other out in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Let me just pull
Sometimes.
up. Let me just pull
Oh
up a
gosh,
number. So
Michael, I saw that. And I'm right there with you. This is me too.
3.5K. Oh,
Mhm. This is where my book falls between 3 and 5. Absolutely.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
depends on how much I splurge on variant covers and fancy prints and because those
Well,
foil covers are not cheap. Those sketch covers are not cheap. And
yeah. And
that's
well,
not even like 3 to 5 just to do the art.
well, yeah, and I was gonna say, like, you have the luxury of lettering your own stuff, so you don't have to at least you don't have to worry about a letterer or
Yeah,
adding that to the cost, and like it's the
right.
same thing for me. Like I letter my own stuff, so I don't have to worry about a letter. But going back to the whole thing about the supporting each other, what do you think? Like, do you think I
Um,
know, it's is it what do you
I don't see people as competition. I mean, like, everybody's books are different and everybody's audience is different, and so I'm very happy to plug everybody,
Mhm,
because maybe if you're not a fan of zombies, but you're a fan of Wonder Duck,
mhm,
you're Black George, and I
right,
still win because that's my friend and I want him to be funded. You know
yeah,
what I mean? 'Cause everybody's audience is out there, but still it's like, um, they might not know you exist, but I do.
mhm.
So, I just think everybody should just plug everybody, and then the consumer has to make the choice, and that's it. So
I think going back to the convention over the weekend, you saw it in action there, right? And this is
Mhm.
why we collaborate, and this is why
Yeah.
collaborating with each other is very important because we were there. It was Sam, you, and it was William, right? William
Mhm.
Russell. And you wrote for William, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
William did a cover for you. And people
William
who
just
picked up your stuff would go to William to get it signed. What does William have? Oh, you have Psycho Sal. Wait, Laurie wrote that? Okay, let me get that. So that's where that's important. Let me just pull up here. 100 per page seems to be about
Yeah.
right. Inks and
I pay
colors.
more than that. Yep.
Yep, yep, yep. And then sorry.
I got digital options, I'm just saying, Michael, I'm just saying.
Dude, it's funny because that's what I've been doing now. I've been a lot of digital
Yeah.
options is what I do now. Uh, because I'm running out of room, it's
Yes.
also it's also cheaper for the person who's putting the Kickstarter together because now you don't have to ship anything.
Right?
Shipping is a big expense in the
Yeah.
campaigns, and you don't realize how much it is until you have to ship these things out, and you're like, where did all the money go? It went to
Mm,
that shipping. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So
good with
yeah,
that. We
yeah.
can trade books, Michael, I'm good with that.
We can
Um,
always trade
you know
books, yeah.
what I'm doing with some of the PDFs though? So you
Mhm.
know these little mini books I'm working on, George? I was on a podcast with Sir Nova, and that's, I forget Dylan's last name, but Dylan came up with this idea. So you know these little mini books?
Yeah.
He was like, "What if you put a QR code on the back?"
Alright.
So, um
Wait, pull it back up, Lauren, pull it back up.
wait, oh, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Michael because, he said, "I'll give you a Wonder Duck for Pill Rider." I already have Wonder Dog.
Those are really cool, man.
Yeah, they're just the little mini books, right? But so all the Rolling Squid Bones books that are in the PDF bundle that I'm giving away for free anyway, I'm gonna make little books and put PDF, or not PDF, the QR codes on the
QR
back.
codes.
So
Yeah,
you could get like this little mini bookcase that I'm
that's
gonna be
cool.
making 60 books. And if people are willing to give their books away for free, you can get a mini bookcase and all
That's
of those books
hilarious.
with
That's
a
awesome.
PDF. Isn't that
Yeah, that's
cool?
really
Where
cool.
you could
Yeah,
read
that's
it and then put it back on the mini shelf. So,
that's awesome. See, now
good
that
idea.
was gonna ask you that because I do wanna pull up your campaign, but I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
that, like, these ideas that you have about, like, these mini where'd that come from? The mini books and all that. Where do all these ideas come from, Marty? Like, what
All over the place. I'm just, I'm a big old sponge. I love to just, absorb things from all over the place. So I saw, where did I see? Anxiety Bookshelf, probably on TikTok. And then I went to Amazon and I got one for my daughter for Christmas. And on Christmas Eve, she got to open it, but she got other stuff that she was more excited about. So I got to sit and play with the Anxiety Bookshelf, and it's great.
so
Um,
what's an anxiety bookshelf?
okay, so it's a mini bookshelf.
It
Looks like
is.
for it's for a dollhouse, and that book that I showed you, it's
Yeah.
just full of a bunch of books, and they all come separate, and so you have to kinda, like, organize the books and put them on the shelf. You can put them on the shelf any way you want to, so I was like,
Right.
I found all the Harry Potter books and the Hunger Games, and then I had, like, one shelf was all the classics, and then another shelf was, like, drama, and there was romance, and there was horror because there was Stephen King, and so I just had fun organizing these little books. And what's great about it is you can get mad. And I mean, like this thing has a lid on it that latches, right? So you can just shake the books around and be like, I had a bad day, right? And then you can sit there and reorganize the books again in a different way. And of course, I'm like, well, I have a book and I want to put it on the shelf. And so it was just funny I took one of the books that my daughter, neither one of us knew which book it was. I don't even remember which one. And I took my cover, I shrunk it down until it was the right size. And I just covered the mini book.
Okay.
So I was able to put it on the shelf of her anxiety bookshelf. I was like, look, mom's book is on your shelf now.
That's
So
awesome.
cute, right?
That's
and then
awesome.
I was like, my friend Joe Salazar, who writes The Dead Weight and the Dead Weight Resistance, which is right up here, because I've rebound her books. So she sent me the PDFs of her cover, front and back. And so I made hers too. And since she was my guinea pig, I sent her like the PDF of the whole sheet. So she can now like print an 8.5 by 11 sticker sheet with her stuff on it. She can make her own mini books. So I did that, and I was like, I could do these. These are fun. So I've actually started. I'm going to have, my goal is to have 60. So if you want to contribute one of your covers, I can add it to the mini bookshelf, which is cool, right? Because I want a whole indie bookshelf so I can make them for people and be like, these are the books that I recommend to you, you know?
Yeah. I have so in one of the pages of my Shameless plug book, like in the not the ones that you've seen, not the first chapter, in the second chapter, maybe page 70 or something. The two characters are at a supermarket and there's a rack of like comics, and I put a couple of like just indie comic book friends covers on the shelf that they're looking at, that where they're picking up their comic books. And so I like to do that, like what you're talking about, like those little, we're going to talk about a page in your book where there's like Easter eggs of like things that
I love doing
sometimes
that
you just have to look for, One of the things that I do love, other than obviously your creativity and what you add to a lot of these campaigns, is the use of QR codes. You use them very well, even within the book. When I was reading comics back in the days, you'd always have, like, if you were reading like an issue of like Thor or something, and it would have like a little asterisk at the bottom. It would say, as seen in book issue number 344, whatever. Like, it would tell you what issue to go to kind of get the context for whatever's happening on the page. And I feel like we can use QR codes now to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, Will, what's up, brother? What's up? And but you do that really well. And so before we jump into that, tell everybody what Path of the Pale Rider is, for somebody who maybe is rewatching this tomorrow and is like, what are these guys talking about?
Yeah.
What is Path of the Pale Rider?
Gotcha. So Michael.
Tell Michael what Path of the Pale Rider is.
I'm going to tell you what Path of the Pale Rider is. Path of the Pale Rider is a Western apocalypse series where death is broken. So we have undead, but they're not your typical undead. It's like your body dies and your soul does not leave. So you're you stuck in your body as you decay, right? But as your brain rots, you lose your humanity, you lose your memories, you can get violent or vegetative, and it hits everybody differently. And it's people, animals, insects, and fish. Okay, so that's the world building. And so we start the story 10 years into that apocalypse, and we're following this cowboy named Jude St. Clair. And he is one of the last people still trying to figure out what broke death. He has this journal full of conspiracy theories. Oh, I'm just teasing you, Michael. He's like, I'm just kidding. I know what it is. But he's been on this crazy path trying to figure out what broke death. And you're going to see everything from undead bears to saloon brawls. We have a couple flashbacks. So you get to see the fall of society and how Jude St. Clair had to deal with things himself. And what do I say? Went out of the frying pan into the fire kind of situation. Finds out the world is way worse than what he thought it was.
And every time you tell me this, I always go to this question: the whys, right?
Yeah.
Like why death is broken?
Yes.
Why 10 years into the apocalypse? Like you make interest. Like, I love the decisions you make for when telling the story, right? I love the
Yeah.
way we go back and forth. Like you do use a lot of that to tell your story. Why did you decide to start 10 years into the apocalypse rather than do it linear and say,
Yeah.
okay, it breaks and then we're going to go that way? Why did you go 10 and then back?
Because I wanted to start with Big James. I wanted Big James to kind of represent Big James is the bear, people, but he represents the protagonist, which is the world. I'm sorry, the antagonist. Jude St. Clair is against the world and how terrible it is, and that any little decision has major consequences. Because again, this bear, it's like this is an apex predator, people. It can run faster than you, it can climb trees, it can swim. I mean, like you can't kill it. How do you get away from this? And it was his fault. It was Jude's fault, and so that's where we had to start. I wanted to show, bits and pieces of getting into this world, and it's desolate. It's already fallen apart. And the question is what the hell happened to get to this point, that we have undead bears and major consequences to the world. And it's like every issue had to be an escalation. So it's like issue 1, you saw Jude by himself pretty much. There's not really very many people, but just showing him making decisions in the world. If you pay attention to the things that he decides to do, you actually learn quite a bit about Jude St. Clair as a character.
Yeah.
And then in issue 2, it's escalated because we have people. They're all alive.
Yeah.
But there's people, and how do they act, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then issues 3 and 4, we have that flashback, but it escalates because it's like, all right, now we're back to the beginning. You get to see everything fall apart. You get to see riots where the living are the majority, the undead are the minority. And then we flip that in issue 4, where the undead are now the majority and the living are the minority. And how does that change? What does that look like? So it just keeps building and building. We burn down towns with undead bugs that are on fire. We come up with Mission Impossible plans that are impossible. And it's like, who came up with this? Oh, yeah, the guys who have rotting brains. Of course, it's not going to work. And then ultimately, it leads to this issue number 7 where everything goes wrong for Jude St. Clair. And it's really like, how do we go forward from this? And that's where we are now. It's like we're going to see something completely different. He actually is going to be where he's been trying to get to since issue 1. If you paid attention in issue 1, I told you where we were going. Right. So now it's like, and so when you see the first 4 pages of issue 8 and you're like, holy crap, this place is great. Right. But then you have to ask yourself a few questions, like 1, who runs this place and how are they able to do that? 2, what are the rules to stay here? And 3, what would you give up to stay in that place?
I think that it's interesting that you've made it into a comic because it all started as a movie script. And to adapt a movie script to, you're into 8 issues of this story now. And I think it's going to be 12, right? It's a 12 issue.
The first arc is 12.
Right.
Yes.
And that is the first movie, right? That's the first movie in a sense. You broke it down. So to be able to do that, obviously you've collaborated with artists and you've done all this stuff. What is the thing that you've learned the most, I think, about the process of writing comics? Because now you're a comic writer now, you're a comic book writer now, right? So what have you learned as far as like the process of converting something like that into a comic book script? Like, what's your biggest takeaway? And before you answer that, let me just show this quick post. Michael, my wife said, I'm not allowed to watch Catch the Craze anymore. It costs too much money. Tell her this isn't Catch the Craze. This is the prelude to Catch the Craze. And he's cracking up. But go ahead. So tell me a little bit about your writing now, that how it's changed from, what you started out and now what it is.
William.
Nice.
William is the best. I wouldn't be here without William.
I have William's cover of issue 7, and he's so good. Cover. He's so good. Characters aren't even in the book.
I know. He's just drawing out of his brain. And I tell you what, like now I'm like, I gotta write this character in. Right. But what I learned is that it's similar, but you have to pay attention to your medium, right?
Mhm.
And so when you're writing movies, you have all this time for dialogue,
Yeah.
right? Because dialogue can go like this. You can say a bunch of lines in 30 seconds. You don't have that luxury in a comic book. So you have to be more precise. You have to
Mhm.
show with the art
Yeah.
and tell with the words, and they need to coincide, but it has to be much more pared down. And so what I did, and of course, like movies have an act 1 and act 2 and act 3, so they have an overwhelming arc, but each act is very specific what you're supposed to do in that act, and then breaking it down into issues, it still had to be um beginning, middle, and end of everything.
Mhm.
So it's like the big arc, beginning, middle, and end. Act 1, beginning, middle, and end, right? Issue 1, beginning, middle, and end. So you have to pay attention to the pacing of every issue to make sure that you are building towards your goal of that the act, but also towards the end goal of the arc. And so for me, it was learning like where do the pages turn, how to build dread, how to use art to tell some of the things that I can't tell in the dialogue now, right? And then I would even like it's still every issue this, and I think this is why I decided I needed to learn how to letter, is because I'm like, it's not gonna fit. It's not gonna fit
Mhm.
in this panel. Like I'm gonna have to, and you just reword it and reword it. And my editor, Rachel Bullock, is amazing because she and I will sit down and brainstorm. Like, this doesn't work. And she'll be like, try this and try that, and we'll flip words around and be like, okay, you know what I mean, to try and get it to work. But um, understanding the medium, I think, was my biggest takeaway of trying to take something that was this big and making it into this big, but still making it just as impactful,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, and I was gonna ask you, like, what does the script now look like for you? Like, do you basically say, okay, panel one, Gilbert, I need, and you type out almost like a paragraph's worth of stuff that needs to happen in that, or do you leave that for them or for him in a sense
Some,
to kind of
some.
like, yeah,
So it's still a screenplay,
it is.
but it is. But I also have comic book format, and so like issue 8, there's an issue 8 screenplay, but there's also an issue 8 comic book format. So I will reread my
Mhm.
script because again, I wrote this in 2018,
Right.
right? And I will rewrite it into comic book format. So I have the amount of pages and the pacing is there. But sometimes I'll tell Gilbert specifics like camera angle this or establishing shot that. And other times I'll leave it up for his interpretation, but I'll just tell him what needs to be in the scene. And
Yeah.
so, and sometimes we'll go back and forth. Like he'll send pencils and I'll be like, this is good. Maybe he'll draw him stick figures, which he laughs at and thinks it's hilarious because I don't draw. And so I'll draw like little stick figures of Dwayne Fink and I'll be like, maybe shift him over here. So it just gives me a little bit more room for, word bubbles or whatever,
Right.
and so there's this conversation we have with art as well to fine tune everything before he goes back and he inks. It saves him time too that we do that at the pencil level instead of
Yeah.
inking and then trying to change it. Like, nah, it needs to be at the pencil level and then he can move forward. So saving him
Yeah,
time.
no, I think that, even like in my scripts now, when I write my scripts, because I do letter the books, I
Yeah.
tend to add direction to the artist where I'll tell them, listen, put this character on the left because
Yes.
they speak first, put this character on the right because they'll speak second. You know what I mean? Or find a way
Mhm.
where like it's gonna be, I can put that character there because I know that that word balloon's gonna start there because you start covering things up, tails start crossing, we start breaking rules that we're not supposed to be breaking as letterers. And so having that ability to be able to put that in the script is so important, I think. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, for whatever reason, and I get it. Listen, it's a visual medium, right? But
Yes.
sometimes, I don't know, artists forget that words do have to come in here at some
Well,
point,
and
you
here's the
know?
problem is because the art is there and they're just like, figure it out. And I'm like, you do realize like letters are it's like the unforeseen, you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah,
you do your job, no one pays
you
attention to you.
shouldn't.
But as
Exactly.
soon as you break a rule, someone's like, get up, like torches come out, pitchforks,
Right.
ah, and it's
Right.
like
Right.
I would have done it differently had the art been different, but this is what I was
Sure.
given. Like, I
Yeah.
just letter, right? What's given me, dudes.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I wanted to share a sequence in issue number 7 for those watching.
Yes.
Path of the
Let's
Pale
talk about
Rider is live on Kickstarter right now. The show notes does have the link, and I'll put it in the chat also. But let me just share this with you guys.
Ooh, issue 7.
Issue 7. So I'm not going to tell you what happens. I just want to kind of focus on the art here. For example, we talk about words, and the lack of words is, I think, what I love about this sequence of pages and the things that are going on. What Gilbert's been able to do with this right here, where you
Yeah.
could tell there's something very wrong with our protagonist here. What's going on here? You have tons of questions. The way this guy's looking at him,
Mhm.
he's going through some stuff, and the way he drew this, and then you have, the people that are, the guys who are taking these people in for custody, and they just having a random conversation about, hey, what happened yesterday? After that, there were pieces of him everywhere. As they're eating their sandwich, like it doesn't matter to them anymore. They become numb to this world because in this issue, Laurie, how long now have we been in this world? 10 is this 10
This is
years
10
into?
years. This is 10
Yes.
years, yeah.
So these guys have been seeing this stuff for 10 years. It does
Well,
nothing for them.
yeah, not they've been seeing the undead for 10 years, but they've probably been working for their collectors for less than that time because the government had to figure out, what they were going to do with all of these people at some point. And of course, they have done this time and time again. If you have read this issue, you've seen what this truly is and how
Right,
many people are in there.
right,
Um,
right, right.
and so that's just another Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we were talking about that, right? These guys are just like whatever. Now, for fans of the book,
These
this
two
these
characters.
two characters are someone that we know. And so obviously we know what happens to them here. But
Yeah.
you know you go through and again, I want to the reason why I have this up also is because there are no words in these pages. It's all
Mhm.
about the art is telling the story, and kudos to Gilbert for being able to tell the art sequentially.
Yes.
And kudos to you too, because I like, people, obviously we have to give a lot of credit to the artist, because the artist, this is the final product, is what we see.
Yes.
But at the same time, you put these words on paper to tell this story. You asked for these things to happen. Now, unless you guys discussed it differently and you didn't describe this and you didn't, but for the most part, when you're writing a script, this is what we're doing, right? We're telling them, okay, this is
Right.
what we need to see.
Well,
So
this is a sequence that they talked about in the previous issue. So part of this cockamamie plan that these undead banditos come up with, right? And Jude's like, I won't be, like, I don't know how to impersonate a collector. And they're like, you can't, we can't get you in past their security. They scan they scan your fingerprints. They do a retina scan, right? They check
Mhm.
IDs. There is no like getting into the system. They can't hack you in. And
Right.
so again, here's them going through that process, showing your badge, scanning your fingers, scanning your retinas. There was no way that Jude was going to be able to sneak past this as a collector.
Right, right. So he has to go in there as an undead, which is
Yep.
what he's doing, which is what he's
Yep.
doing inside this. And the way they're treated, right? The way that these people are now being treated, they're collecting them, they're taking them wherever they gotta take them. And I mean, I don't know, they seem to be second class citizens to them. They're like, come
They
on,
are.
get
They're
out,
they're
let's
just
go.
they're trash. And like he
Right.
doesn't even talk to him. There's no talking. He just goes in, he checks for a heartbeat and he leaves. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like he's looking at this kid kind of concerned, but I mean like and he's afraid of that guy.
Yeah, look at this guy.
He's
Yeah.
growling at him.
Right, right. Now, and you wonder, like, what happened? Like, how did he die? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? How
Yeah,
did
what's
he
the story
become
behind all
undead?
of these people?
Right, 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 right. They all have a story, right? They all
Yep.
have something that happened to them, which, and that's the beauty of being like you can essentially, if you wanted to, write a backstory to any of these characters. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And that could be something
And
that
you
would be
know what's
cool.
been fun, George? Other
Mhm.
people have been writing in this world.
Oh, right. Oh,
So now
really?
I have 2 stories written that I'm
Wow.
hanging on to, and I know what I'm gonna do with them at this point, but I can't do it yet. But there's 2 stories out there being told by other writers in this world. So it's pretty
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's really cool. That's really cool. You've reached the
I just
Star Wars status at
I
this
gotta
point.
I gotta hang on to him though, until we find out what the answer is because there's some spoilers in there, and I was like, "No, we can't do it."
Gotcha, gotcha. So
Ugh,
here they are again, another Tuesday, proceed. Again, I just want to very little dialogue, but
yes,
things are happening. There's plenty that has been
and
going on. These guys,
the undead do not trust him. That's what that was right there. They're all looking at him. Every time his heart beats, they don't
why?
say anything, but
Why?
they're
Yeah,
looking at him like, "Something is wrong with you." You
right.
know what I
These
mean? They
shouldn't,
don't
that
trust
shouldn't be
him,
happening, right? That shouldn't
except
be
for Waffles, who is an undead dog and does not care.
right. And the time is he's got a certain amount of time
Yes.
that he needs to get in
Hey,
and get out in a
get out.
sense in a certain amount of time, and
It's
he's
like
running out of time. So it's like almost like a time. It's almost like a clock, right? An ongoing clock here.
definitely a clock. Well, every minute is one heartbeat, and so it's counting down not only the time, but how many beats he has left. And so if he doesn't give himself the antidote before the end of those 30 heartbeats, um, he's permanently undead, which is a huge fear for Jude.
Now, question for you on the design of the page itself. You said these
Yeah,
splatters in the background. Is that something
that
that
that's
Gilbert came
Gilbert.
up with? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm,
Yeah, that's cool.
100%.
I like that. I like
And
that.
now he usually does like really cool panel divisions and stuff, but we opted not to do them in this one just because the story is so intense that we didn't really want to take away. We wanted people just to be immersed in this story. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like once you start reading it, it's a page turner all the way to the end where it's like, "Oh, I gotta know. I gotta know. I gotta know."
Right.
It
Right.
is that way. So there wasn't a point, I don't think, of putting in those extra the panel
Yeah.
art that he normally does because it was just gonna be like, "I don't care, I just wanna know what's happening."
I think it becomes distracting. Like, I think there's a
Can
time
be.
to use
Yeah,
them, and there's a time not to use them. I think here,
right.
it was, but, you're going through the sequential art, you should go, "Okay, they're getting ready. They're getting ready to go in, and they're getting ready to do something." They're concerned, like, they're scared, like, and this is what I like about not just the artwork, but the storytelling is that, what is that noise? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Like they're scared. They're scared.
and
This
then
this big dude is
the
scared.
collectors put on all this protective gear, like facial covering, face mask,
Right,
ear cover,
right.
they got chest armor, they're all armored up, like,
Yeah,
they have all the protection on, and it's like, "What? Why do they
yeah.
need that? What is in there, Godzilla?" Like,
Right, right. Where are we going? What are we doing?
going
Here, I think it works the way he's
at it.
done the panels, where there's
Yeah,
panic, right? So the panels become chaotic. They're no longer. This is all protocol, right? This is
right.
all, and now all of a sudden, what's going? You know what I mean? Like, I do
Yeah.
like that. I like that. This is where he's screaming. They're covering their ears. They're like, "What the hell's wrong with this guy?" He's just snapped the freaking, the shackles that were holding them. He just snapped, and they're like, "What the hell are we gonna do with this guy?" So what do? They
Zzzt.
zap him, calm
His
him down.
electricity is the only weapon that consistently works against the undead. Their nervous system will still conduct electricity. It's like the
Mm,
frog in science class where you hook up the battery and
right.
it's still moving.
Yeah,
That
yeah. Wow.
that's their downfall, right?
Right, exactly. Single file that they subdued him single file. And this is my favorite thing about, like, what you
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
We use
Yes.
these QR codes. Now, they work, people. Like, they work. This, if you scan that QR code, it takes you to a YouTube video where now you get the soundtrack. Now you get the score for the
Here.
scene, basically. You can
Yeah.
what's about to happen to these characters. And obviously, some stuff's happened in this room or in this garage or wherever they're in. They're being put into, right? Look at all
Yeah.
the blood on the walls, and, like, you can almost smell this place. Like, it
Yeah.
does not look sanitary at all, which
No.
probably explains the coverings and stuff. So now they're in it. Clank, 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 slam, right,
And it's like the lights go out
right,
and this alarm, it's like this it's very cinematic. So it's like I imagine it pitch black, and when the alarm goes off, like there's a red light. So it's red, and then it's dark again, pitch black, right?
right, yeah.
And then keep going. And then when it goes red, and then you're gonna see like there's fingernails scratches in the wall.
Oh yeah, right
When the
here.
lights come on, Jude is now seeing that there is a fingernail stuck in the wall. But again, it's
Right.
only for a second, and then the lights go out again. And so
Mhm.
just this moment of
And
terror,
then
being like, "What is happening?" And then the it's a garage door basically that
yeah,
opens on
yeah.
the other side, and it's loud, and the light is blinding, and it's so loud. It's such a loud, "Stop! Stop! Don't go any farther."
Yeah,
There,
right.
right there.
Wow.
No, don't show that one
Why?
because I said not to.
Okay, fine. Fine. You know, it's
It's a spoiler, George.
well, you said that's what I want you to stop. I want you
Yeah,
to show
here,
that. I'm
here,
here.
here,
Okay,
where he
okay.
says, "Holy hell,"
Okay.
because he's looking down into something. Well, now you might as well show it because you showed it.
No, I'm not gonna
No,
show it
now you
now.
gotta no,
I
because now
teased
we gotta
it.
talk about it. You can't just be like, "This is the thing."
This is how we do. Hold on a second. Let me just somebody said, he wishes that there was a link or something. You know what I mean? To like,
What are you talking about? We got lots of links. Do you wanna go to
there
the
you go.
Kickstarter?
There it
Do you
is.
wanna
No,
go
I just
to
put it, I just
yeah.
put it in the chat. All right. So you want me to show it?
Yeah, you could show it.
All right,
So this
double
is the
splash
big
page.
moment, and this is definitely like rips the world wide open. So this is the Grand Canyon full of the undead. The
Jesus.
government has been collecting people, lying to them, telling them that they're sending them to these retirement communities that have white picket fences and it's a safe place for the undead to go. And people have been paying to go to the undead retirement community because there's commercials for it. These get your spot now, buy your spot in, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. And then they just throw you in the freaking hole.
So wait, so this is the Grand Canyon.
The
So
Grand Canyon.
so there's bodies upon bodies upon bodies of undead underneath all of these people.
Yes, and that's why it's so
Holy
terrifying, and
crap.
that's why when you listen to the soundtrack, they're screaming
Yes.
because they're endlessly trying to claw their way to the top, and there's
Right.
things pulling them down, and his parents are in here.
Oh, right. Right. Dude, that was sad. Like that issue was
Yeah.
one of the saddest issues. By the way, Freddie's in here too, just in
Yeah,
case you
there's
don't
some
know.
Easter eggs in there thanks to Matt Chambers, our colorist. He went and did some extra inks in here, and he had some fun. So there's, like, Joker and Freddy and Waldo. It's kind of hilarious, and I wish I
Yeah.
would have thought of that. It's great. It's great. I actually paid him extra money after I went and looked at all the Easter eggs, and I started sending because he didn't tell me. He just sent me the
Oh
page
my
and
God.
was probably waiting there going, waiting for me to find stuff. And when I finally found it, I was like, "Oh my god, is that Waldo?" So I screenshot, I was like, "Is this Waldo?" And he was like, "Yep. What else did you find?" I was like, "What do you mean?" So I started looking, I was like, "Shut up." And I just started screenshotting, and we were laughing so hard. He was like, "You told me to have fun, Laurie." And I was like, "I did. Here's extra money." I was like, "This is genius. Thank you for doing this." I wish I had thought of it myself. And
Well,
so,
listen, I'm not going to
gosh,
spoil what happens after this scene.
no,
So
you guys
this
have to
this
see.
is where we'll remove this from the screen.
Yeah. It was like, because how does he get out of that? You know what I
Right.
mean? And he only has so many heartbeats left,
Right. Because if
right?
he doesn't get out, he's going to die.
Yes.
And
He'll
so
just
and this is and again, this is that was one of my favorite. You teased me the whole time because you told me that something was gonna happen to him, and I'm like, what's gonna happen, Laurie? Is he gonna die? And for a moment, even after that scene, I was like, what the, you know what I mean? It's it's very well done. So I am looking forward to seeing what happens in issue number 8. Is there
Yes,
anything you can tease about issue number 8? Maybe
of course. Well,
we'll
do me a
add.
favor. I was gonna say pull up the
Yeah,
campaign,
yeah. Okay.
and we could look at the first 4 pages of the book, which is usually what I share.
Okay.
Anything more than that, a lot of times we get into spoiler territory already with my stories, so I try to just to share the first 4. But, so in the beginning of the first issue, well, I don't know, it's about halfway into the first issue, Jude Sinclair is on this road, and he stops to pick up this glass. He does stupid stuff. He knows it's dumb, but it's this glass that has yay, Michael.
What
We
did you
got
do?
so we have this glass that he stops to pick up, and it has the map of Las Vegas on it.
Okay,
Right?
hold on.
So I've
Let's
been
see.
teasing since the beginning where he is going. So he's been trying to get to this place, the Golden City, And if you look, here it is. What's on the other side of the Grand Canyon? It's Las Vegas. Obviously, worse for wear, right? Gilbert drew a tumbleweed in there. But it's the golden nugget, but all the letters that are left are gold and the letter N. So it's the golden city. That's what we've been telling you.
Gotcha.
And he gets in there and there's nobody there, but he spots this. I love this panel where he's like smashing his face up against an aquarium. And those fish are alive.
Oh, wow.
Who's keeping an aquarium full of fish alive in the apocalypse? Right. And of course, he's been walking through the desert, so he goes to drink it, and this lady scares the crap out of him. Like she's like, "Well, are you new here?" And she's like, "Look at his hair, look at his outfit. He's missing a shoe." And she basically says, Gold is expecting a few extra people because he's having a party. She puts him up in a room. She says, "What do you need?" He says, "Food and water." She said, "And take a shower." He's in this hotel room with air conditioning, running water, and a hot shower.
What's going to happen is my question here.
So it seems too good to be true. Right?
Yep. Wait and see, Laurie says.
But what I love about issue 8 is that Jude has been looking and searching and conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory. He's whittled down to what he thinks is the answer. And I've said this since the beginning. In this first arc, Jude does figure it out. And we are going downhill to that answer. So if you pay attention in this issue, you could figure it out. Now, if you don't figure it out in 8 or you're not exactly sure, you can definitely figure out in 9. And if you're still unsure about the answer in number 10, I tell you in like the first 3 pages. It's
and I think that's gonna be me. I'm just gonna find that in issue 10. Like,
is it this? And I'll be like,
yeah,
George.
Yeah. No, you know why? Because I don't know. I like to just, okay. So there are people who watch movies and they watch them just to figure the entire movie out.
Yeah,
and
that's
the whole thing is right. I watch the movie just to enjoy the movie, and I'll just be like, oh, and I like to be surprised. So I don't really think too much about what's happening. So that's how I'm enjoying your book. And listen, and that doesn't mean that's the only way you can enjoy the book. You can obviously do what you're talking about, right? We're like, I know what's going to happen next, and still be surprised, even if you think you know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I love when people are like, "Don't spoil it. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Like, I just want to read it for myself, and I'll figure it out." Right?
Yeah.
I also love the people that are like, "I think it's this."
Right.
And of course, I'm always like, "That's an interesting theory."
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Am I right?" I'm like, "That's an interesting theory."
So Michael says, "I'm getting a lot of Arizona sunshine vibes."
Laurie, is that an actual saying? I'm not sure what that means, but yes, the story actually starts in Arizona. That's funny.
That is funny.
There is a town that in the first 1 and 2, you're going to find that Jude is going towards a town called Santa Claus, which is in Arizona. It's a real place. It's a ghost town, but it's a real Arizona town.
I passed it. I remember I was driving cross country last year. Yeah. And
I saw it. Take a picture.
I texted you, but I didn't take the picture. It's a zombie versus
it's a zombie VR
game. Interesting.
Cool. I've never heard of it.
Arizona
but
Sunshine.
Now I need to go look it up.
That's cool. Speaking of covers,
William
Russell. This is one. Now, does this character exist in the book?
No. No.
Damn it, William.
I just give him complete and total freedom though, because he's having fun and he can, I mean, like seriously, as long he stays within canon. So as long as he stays within canon, he'd have fun, William, right? Why not? And he makes gorgeous stuff and he's using his own creativity based in my world, which is so much fun to see come to life. What I love about this is still accurate to where we are, because here we have a Vegas showgirl.
She's a showgirl, yeah.
Yeah, she's been shot.
Mm-hmm.
They've removed her organs, sewed her back together, and guess what? Get back to work.
Get back to work, girl. And she's doing it. She's working it. She's working it. And here's the
yeah.
There you go. There you go. Now this one's cool.
Cover.
This is a cool cover.
Did you know about this cover, right?
Yeah, you have a. Do you want me to?
Selena's?
Let me see. Is it in here? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, it's right there. So this is 2 images in one. It's called Blink. So Ken Salinas, it took him a couple tries to get it like this, but so every cover comes with a pair of this red and blue glasses. So when you blink one eye, you see one Jude, and if you blink the other eye, you see the other Jude. So it's always a running joke with us to say like, is Jude going to survive the issue, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Um, so it's like Pandora's box. Jude is both alive and undead on the cover.
That's
And you
funny.
gotta read it to find out.
That's really freaking cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
that's Ken. Jared Lockhart, blew me away with this one because I was like, "Ah, I want a skull, and I just want a, like, super cool skull. You gotta put my
Really cool.
symbol on it," and he was like this?" And I was like, "Yeah!"
I like the simplicity of this cover, man.
Yes, it's
I
simple,
really do.
but again, I love this one in the black and white, but the one below it is the showstopper.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Wow,
right?
that's really freaking cool.
Golden City, we still
Yeah.
have danger. What
These
kind
these
of danger?
these don't glow in the dark, do they?
No, but they're gold spot foil.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. So talk about like the I'm a raccoon. Oh, that's shiny.
This is
This
cool.
one. I tell you about this one?
No, tell me.
So this is Gerald von Stoddard. Gerald von Stoddard. I'm a huge fan of his artwork. I see him do a lot of covers for other people, but I also know how busy he is. And
Right.
so he's been on my bucket list for a while, but I just never had the courage to ask him, like, I know you're so busy, but
Mhm, mhm.
can you squeeze Laurie into your busy schedule? Like, I never asked him. And William and I were live. It was like I had launched on Saturday, and this was Monday afterwards. And so William and I are just talking on a live stream. And Gerald is in the chat, and he's like, "Oh, Laurie, oh hey, I got something for you," and just dropped this into my DMs, and I
Wow.
fell out of my chair. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And he's like, "I would like to give this to you,"
Wow.
and I was like,
That's
"I am floored because this is." So Path of the Pale Rider, he doesn't even know it. Like he don't know.
that's a tattoo. Like that's
That's
nuts.
I'm gonna turn this into every kind of merch I can. But for this campaign, I'm making this available as a wooden cover.
Oh, that's cool.
So usually I do the main cover only, but so when you get a survey, if you get a wooden cover, you'll have 2 choices. You just tell
Right.
me which one you want. And actually I have some. Do you want to see them?
Yeah,
I
let's
went
see
to
'em.
the laser printer this past week.
You have some of this particular cover?
Yeah,
Wow.
because I
Hold
make
on.
these, right?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna remove, and I'm going to.
So here's the main cover, what it looks
Oh
like.
yeah.
And now this is just the clean wood. I haven't done anything, but I usually go back and I stain these. I'm thinking about doing like a blonde finish. I've done gray and I've done like a warm cover. Like here's like a warm
Oh wow.
color, but I was thinking more of a lighter one for
I
this
like the
one.
lighter. Yeah, I do like the
Yeah.
lighter. Yeah.
And then the Gerald one, I'm gonna work on it some more to clean it up. But I mean, like
Oh
it's
yeah.
stunning.
Wow.
It's stunning.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. Holy
It
shoot.
gets a little muddy right here, so I'm gonna clean up this side. I'm just gonna play with the settings at the
How long
laser
does it take?
engraver.
How long does it take you to do this? These covers?
Each one is 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I mean, like and I stained one so you can see it, but it gets
Oh,
like I said, it
cool.
gets pretty muddy. And I was trying to do some stuff like adding some dark things to try and fix this side, but
Mhm.
it doesn't look great. So I'm gonna do something different, but I just wanted
Nice.
to try that stain too to see how it turned out. It's okay, but I still think
Yeah.
the lighter one will look better on this one too. So
Yeah. No, I agree. So when you attach these to the book,
mhm.
can you attach it to the book and then still have the regular cover behind? Like, can you do that? Like, can you double print the cover, I guess, for the book
No.
so that you have the cover as wood and as regular?
I mean, I'm attaching it directly to the cover.
Oh, you're attaching it directly.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so it's attached.
Got it. Got it.
That's what they do with the metal covers. So
Right. Right.
I use the same method as that to attach, but
I
um,
guess if you wanted to have the cover behind it, you'd have to add a page. In other words,
yeah, you'd have
you
to
would
have
have
4 pages,
you would have that for, right,
right?
correct.
But so if you don't want to go the whole wooden cover route, I am making these available as a 6x9, just a wooden plaque.
Yeah.
So it's a
Okay.
little bit smaller, so it's less expensive.
Mhm.
Because the wooden cover tier is I think 75.
Right.
So because not only I mean like takes me 30 minutes each, and I have to go to the laser engraver multiple times, and then I have to clean them, stain them, poly them. And these ones are going to get a special treatment that I'm not telling anybody yet. So they're going to be super special.
And these are the things with the stuff that you do. These are literally
Yeah.
hands on. Like you're
Yeah.
hands on with this stuff. Like you don't send it out to get done. Like you're doing these things yourself. Like
Mhm.
that's the cool thing about them.
And it's funny because people are like, "Oh, I want to do these," and they're asking me questions. I'm like, "First, you got to this, and then you that, and then," and I lay it all out, and then they're like, "I don't want to do these anymore." And
That
now this
is
one
funny.
too is gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, I
So
like
this is
this
a
one.
re-release of issue number 2.
Oh,
So
okay. So
with
this is issue
this
two.
one, yeah, because William went back and did variant covers for issue 1 and issue 2, which we were missing. So
Mm.
now there is William Russell variants from 1 through 8.
Oh, sweet.
Amazing.
That's
I
nice. I like
cannot
that.
wait to get these. When we were at Texoma, I sold all of my extra copies of issue 7
Yeah.
from him, like the one that you have.
Yes,
I
the one I
sold them
have.
all.
Yeah.
I was sold out by the end of Texoma.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
So
it's a beautiful cover.
this one's I'm sure this one will do the same. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous. And
Yeah.
especially when William's at a table next to me, it's people are
Yeah.
like, "Yes."
It's perfect.
Right? And this is cool too. So this campaign, if you're a fan of William Russell, we have the bundle. It's called The Angry Path. It's 9 covers for issues 1 through 8. You get one of the variants for free. But
Mm.
William and I are at a lot of cons together. And so if
Yeah.
you come to a con where we're both at, bring your books and we'll both sign them for you.
That's what I do.
We love doing that. We have a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. No, that's exact. This is the one. Yeah. This one right here.
That one. Gone.
Yeah.
I sold them all. I was like, I
Nice.
need to figure out how to get some more before I go to Mockingbird.
Yeah.
If I can
Yeah.
put in an order max.
Then you have your t-shirts and
Yep.
hoodies. These are
Lots
cool.
of t-shirts. They're all available as either a tier or as add-ons.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot
Mm-hmm.
of fun with these because I make these as well.
What's your bestseller?
It's usually the new shirt is the bestseller.
Mhm.
So like last campaign was the new one was a sad pancake. So it did a lot of
Mhm.
those. I don't know which one is
Oh,
the
that's cool.
bestseller yet, just because it's just listed as t-shirt as item, and then people have to tell me which one they want. Here's the new one, the toasty and the unbear. So there's 2 new ones that people can
Okay.
get. So it'll probably be one of those 2. I think the
Nice.
toasty is hilarious.
The
So
Toasty's
that's
hilarious.
a
Yeah.
good one. That's a good one. They're all good. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're cool. They're all
Bullshit.
really cool. Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Yeah, that was nice. Dead outside, still human inside.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, these are cool.
That's
These are
it.
very cool. I like the
Got
hoodie.
hoodies.
Yeah.
And I can make just about anything, so if you want something special, just let me
Toasty.
know. Toasty. I
Yeah.
think it's so funny.
No, this is really cool. Oh, 5 pops available. Shocking Jude.
Well, I think there's 2 left. Let me see.
Oh.
3 were gone last time I looked. I'm pretty sure there's 2 left. There's 2 left. So
Oh
3 have been
wow.
claimed, but these are super exclusive. So
Right.
5 are available, but these are custom. And
Mhm.
so, I don't this is the only place to get them. I don't have these on my website. I don't bring them to cons, um, only strictly through Kickstarter. And
Once they're
so
gone, they're gone.
they're gone. But also if like I make 5 available and only 3 get claimed, I only make 3.
Oh, right, right. I got you.
So they're more exclusive.
Right, right. So it's not like they're not, there's just, they're made to order. So you don't have 5 already done. You're only going to make whatever's ordered and that's it.
Right, right.
That's cool.
And this
That
one's
is cool.
the Shocking Jude.
What do they go for on the campaign?
They're 200
Yeah.
'cause
Well, they're exclusive. No, they're
and
one of
but
a they're one of
they
a
are
kind, really.
handmade, hand painted, and the
Wow.
studio does them all from scratch. So you're getting a unique hand painted item. Yeah, there's 3 of them, but they're all a little bit different.
Oh
So,
wow, that's awesome.
mhm.
That's the secret
True reward.
reward.
These are
Nice.
you gotta put your trust in me. I always do cool stuff, but I like to do low runs. but I never tell people what they are, and they change. So these always jump around in price, just depending on what my crazy mind puts together. And it's like, I've made boxes with bottles of Ashes and Bones. I've made a working disc. So the guy with the hat, he got a working disc. I've 3D printed things. I've laser printed, like that bear keychain is not just a bear keychain. It's inlaid with sterling silver wire. And so they're fancy, right?
Yeah.
And so I always talk about, I really like this secret reward, but I like them all. So it just depends on, do you trust me? So like last campaign, the secret reward was the Big James onesies. And there was only 2 people that got them. And then people found out what it was and wanted them. And I was just like, this is why you have to back the secret reward, right?
This is why.
But I made a few available on this campaign, but they're all gone at this point. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
How many secret rewards do you usually do?
Usually just a small handful, like maybe 4 or less is usually what I do.
And they go.
But I love them. So
yeah,
covers.
The wooden covers we talked about.
Oh, this is the last campaign for wooden covers.
No more wooden covers after this.
No more wooden covers after 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I might do wooden rewards, but these take a long time. Well, then it's like I did metal covers for the first 4. We did wooden covers for 5 through 8. So we're going to do something different for 9, 10, 11, 12.
Now, is there any way to save the wooden covers? In other words, if you get a certain order, would you consider bringing them back? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Yeah. So let's bring them back, guys. Let's bring them back.
Maybe.
How many of these have you done so far, or will you be doing? Do you know?
For this campaign, 4, 5, 6, I think 7 so far.
Let's get 15. Let's double that. Let's get 15 and force.
Well, okay.
And force Laurie to do.
So here's the thing. So I had this at its own tier, and so what's difficult is like someone wanted they wanted the cover, but they also wanted the foil. You know what I mean? And then someone else wanted the Funko Pop, but they also wanted the wooden cover. And so what I did is I opened this up. I put 10 in the add-ons, and so you can add on a wooden cover to your campaign at this point if you want.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's only because enough people ask me. Yeah, so I have a ton of add-ons. You know me. I did kitchen sink. No, we got trade paperback.
I love the smallest, like the 6x9 digest size. They came out great, Laurie. They came out really nice. Really,
Thank you. Nice. I think so too. I love them.
The poker card box. Nice.
I recommend this one because we're going to have more than a dozen poker cards unlocked.
Will you sell these cards at some point? Like, will you be selling?
Yeah.
I know that they're on the campaigns and every they unlock, but will you have like a set at some point?
Yeah. Once we're done with it, like you'll be able to add on a whole deck. In all of the previous cards are in the add-on. So if like you just find us at issue 8 and there's 11 cards that are unlocked already, there's an add-on where you can just add on all the previous poker cards. Or like if you missed a campaign, so like if you missed issue 7, you can add on just the ones that you missed from last campaign, stuff like that. My goal is that everybody has a complete deck by the time we're done.
Yeah, no, that would be great. I mean, playing poker with like a deck like this would be so awesome. You know what I mean?
Have poker chips.
Oh, okay. Nice.
We have a whole plan. There's a inverse deck, so there's that white deck, but there's a black deck.
Oh,
lots of stuff planned.
You have plans.
I have plans.
The fleece.
No, that was gone. The first 3 backers, it was gone.
Wow.
Yeah. People were knifing each other in the chat over that one.
Oh, okay.
The poker cards are gone.
That
was fun. That was Dash. He was last campaign. He was like, "Listen, I'll back, but I want you to shoot my poker cards." And I was like, "Okay." So I took him to the ring. I know he's just so crazy. I'm like, that's a crazy thing, and I'll do it, right? So I took some cards to the range, and he got to pick which one he wanted, and then I put the other 3 up on the campaign. So there's 3 left. Cool. They're gone though. The bracelets are gone. Big shout out to
Adelise. I got a bracelet from her. That's awesome. That's awesome.
She does some beautiful work.
She does.
Another one where she gave me a price and I paid her extra. I was like, no, like we're worth more than that.
Yeah, these are great. These are freaking great.
They're gorgeous. The
Oh, look at
mug,
this. Mug
there's just
claimed.
one.
Wow, so you have a lot of these
Oh,
things that have been claimed.
this one hasn't been claimed, and I'm
This
surprised.
one.
I thought for sure people were gonna fight over this one. And I have it here. I've been working on it. And so you guys know I like to rebind books. And so this is what this one currently looks like. And now I can't get it to focus this close, but this is faux leather. And
Oh,
so
wow. That's cool.
it has all like the little veins and stuff in it from the leather print. And so when I painted it, it looks like skin. Can you
It
kind of see it?
does. Yeah, no, you can.
Yeah. I mean, like that goes out of focus, but it's like,
Ugh.
yeah, it's supposed to be creepy because it's
Yeah.
Cannibal Rednecks, but so all I have left to do is it's the vinyl, the HTV vinyl on the outside. But I mean, like it's gorgeous. It has metallic
Jeez.
red pages and an interior
Damn,
bookmark.
Laurie, you are
It's
insane. I
it's
love
gorgeous.
this.
So, and I mean, like if nobody gets it, I mean, I feel bad that nobody else will get it, but I get to keep it. So
Right.
so, but when it's done, it's gonna have gold HTV on it too. So it'll have like the crackles in it too. So it's gonna look really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So that's okay. I'll keep it. It's fine.
Jeez,
But
that's
I figured
awesome.
someone would want it because everybody's like, "Oh, a rebound book. I would love to get my hands on one." Well, here's your chance.
Now now this is specifically Slaughterville by Christopher Brown that you're doing,
This is
right?
Christopher Brown's book. Yep, Slaughterville, and
Mhm.
it's about a bunch of rednecks and that are cannibals. And there's a reason why I picked this book, but you'll have to read
Okay.
past number 8 to find out.
Oh, nice. We have unique item here, James by Jason Duke.
Dude, that one went like
That one went. Oh shoot. All right, cool. This
here's
one
the Big
went.
James onesies. There was 4 available. Those are gone.
Hilarious.
Most of this stuff went like the very first week of campaign too. It was
That's
like,
cool, man. To get a surprise, swag bag
yeah,
surprise, just two sizes to pick from. All right, you're gonna put some stuff in it.
yeah. It's like if I don't want to go through all the add-ons, just pick a swag bag. There's $10.25, and
Awesome.
I'll just throw together cool stuff that I think that you would like into your package for you.
That's cool,
Hot
man.
sauce.
The hot sauce, which this stuff flies at
Yeah.
conventions. These things go.
I
So
know, you
that's
guys got
awesome.
to see me in action, and I was
Yeah. No,
bumping,
these
right?
things. I love you have the packaging all down. Like
Yeah.
it's really cool stuff. Stretch goals. So we've unlocked
The mini books,
the mini books. Heard about these mini books earlier today. 50
right?
packets of another poker card.
So these are the
Nice.
previous poker cards. Now, we normally unlock 2, and we've been averaging like 120 to 140 backers a campaign.
Mhm.
This time, I'm wondering if we can get to that magic 150 and unlock
Alright.
a 3rd card. This will
Oh,
be the
nice.
first time,
Oh,
and,
wow.
if we do that, I'll release the other joker. Because usually
Cool.
it's a face card and a number card,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of number cards to go through, right?
Yeah.
But very first 150, I will release the next joker. Mhm.
Alright, alright. So these are the
And then
ones that will unlock this campaign.
yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is a cool one.
Miguel
The stretch
Blanco.
goals. So you got
Yes.
the indie bundle that's been unlocked.
Yep. So there's 16 extra titles that
Wow.
everybody will be able to download and read. You might find your new favorite thing in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, there's Russ.
There's
All
Russ.
right.
Yep.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that one.
Present. Scratches.
Represent. Oh, this smells like bacon. Scratches lip sticker. All right. That's unlocked.
The fandom gets to name the undead petting zoo. So there's this whole thing in my Facebook group, Path of the Pale Rider, where I do polls and the fandom gets to participate. So we have this undead petting zoo that we're working through, and that is now Kevin Bacon. So
Kevin Bacon.
they
Nice.
named him Kevin Bacon.
There you go. 6,000 has unlocked a very, very fun event, the Slice and Dice event that you will be doing live on your show on a Tuesday.
Yep. Yeah.
That's been unlocked. So
Yep.
that's unlocked. $6,500 unlocked Zombies.
Coffee beans.
Oh, the coffee beans. All right, roasted coffee. Sweet.
So I actually roast the beans myself.
Oh, cool.
So I'll be sending everybody enough beans to have your own cup of coffee. And I would love it if you would tune in to my show on Tuesdays, the
Mhm.
Tuesday Morning Brew, and have a cup of coffee with me.
There you go.
Mhm.
That's unlocked. This is unlocked.
Yep.
Smell to be determined. Nice. Now
I'm
you
gonna
have hot.
be nice. I'll be
Was
nice.
that?
I said, "I promise I'll be nice. I'm not gonna make it stinky." Everybody keeps asking me to make it stinky. I won't. It'll be a
Oh
nice
my
smell.
God.
The next
Hot
one.
sauce hard candy at $8,000.
I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah,
3 days
sure.
left. Oh, I just looked at the number.
Uh-huh.
It's 7666.
Again, you got hit with the
I
666.
Yeah, but we still got 3 days to go, so we won't end there.
Mm.
But
All right. All right. Oh, I love this. Get ready for a surprise. I love that.
you know it.
I love it. I freaking love this movie. I swear
I
to God, I
love that
watched it
movie.
recently and it's freaking great.
Gosh.
Uh Short preview page, Big James short preview pages.
Yes. So I have written an 8-page short, and
Mm.
it's Big James 100% destruction.
Now, is it being like, was it drawn already? Like it's done?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
okay.
I don't
Okay.
have an
Okay.
artist attached. I have an artist in mind. Like I would love Fish Lee to do it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but
Fish is
again,
great.
I have to raise some more money because right
Mhm,
now all the
mhm.
money goes to Path. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's written, so
Oh,
it's
beautiful.
there, waiting to come to life. So someday.
Riddles and shorts, which is always fun.
Yeah, this one should be interesting. I figured out how to do you know what a magic eye puzzle is?
No.
You've never seen it? It's called a stereograph, where it's one of those images that looks like it's nothing, but, like, you have to unfocus your eyes, and when you
Oh,
look,
yes.
there's a
Okay. Yeah,
thing in
sure.
there. I
Mhm.
figured out how to make one.
Wow. Laurie,
So,
see,
that'll be on the back cover.
you're always thinking outside the box. You're
Yeah,
always thinking
yeah.
outside. Here's the team.
There's the team. There's
There
me.
she is. There's Laurie.
There's
There's
Gilbert.
Gilbert. It's funny. Gilbert looks
Shirt.
like a Gilbert. I have a friend
Does he?
named Gilbert who looks like Gil.
Shut
It's
up.
I swear to God. I'm like, holy cow. Every
I
time I
love this
look at this, I'm like,
picture.
wait, no, that's not Gilbert. Like,
No, it's the other Gilbert. I love
it's
this
the other
picture,
Gilbert.
though, because of his Spider-Man shirt.
Yeah,
It's
the
just amazing.
Spideys. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then
There
that
we
with
go.
mustache.
Colorist. Yeah.
Awesome. And then there's my, my
There's the
editor,
editor.
Rachel, who is the
There's
best.
Rachel. There you go, Rachel.
I don't care what the other guys say about you, Rachel, I love you.
Wow. Uh,
Because
uh,
when she's like, "Make changes," we're all like, "Yes, ma'am."
okay. Fund allocations. These are always fun grids.
Yeah,
Look how much goes into our production,
more than half.
right? That's real. That's what happens. The printing charges, there's the merch, and the shipping. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
These go hand in hand.
yep.
Credit card processing kills you.
Yeah, the
You know?
Kickstarter fees and the credit card processing come right off the top, so I don't even
Yeah.
see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
you
that's
never see
like
it.
it's almost 10% that comes out of the
Yeah.
campaign.
And that's why it's so important. I'll say this because I know William is a big proponent of this. It's important that the everybody who pledges makes sure that their pledges go through because especially because you have stretch goals that
Yeah,
we may
that
see
costs
as
money.
yeah, and we may see it as oh they she made it. I'm getting this. But when certain pledges don't go through, it could drop below the mark, and now you're stuck making these extra things, and the money's not there anymore.
Right?
So yeah, no AI, baby, no
It's funny because
AI.
I used an AI bear to make the no AI bear.
Hey, here
Um,
are the Friends with Campaign. Space Monkeys just finished, so big
yep,
shout out to them and his
congratulations.
campaign.
And I'm terrible because there's like 7,000 people live right now, and I have like 3 campaigns on my
No,
friends
there's
list.
so many. I mean, there's
I
just
need to
so
put
there's a
more, but
lot.
I'm just so busy, I don't have it in me. I think Malik is ended.
Oh, really? Okay,
Malik ended, I'll have to check and see, but I think he funded. And then,
good.
Cosmic Wars, of course, that's Sam Vera,
Yeah.
our bestie, and
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
live right now.
he's live right now. I think he's got about 2 weeks left, so make sure you hit
Mhm.
that link, Risk and Challenges, and that's the campaign, folks.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it. So, Path of the Pale Rider, we have how many days
3.
left? 3 days left.
Close
Jeez.
on Friday at 8 p.m. See,
Yay,
there's that number again.
we got a backer tonight. Let's
Like,
move that. I may have to go in there and pledge $1.
I know. Poor George. He's like, no. he keeps having OCD about the number.
Let me tell you something. When you were at 69.99, I was like, what the hell? So how does one get to be a guest on this show? Michael, let's do this. Technogods, let's talk. Let's talk. We'll do this. We'll do this. So it's funny because you and I, Laurie, we just decided one day, yo, George, you want to go live? Yeah, let's go live. Decide today. And we just put a day together and here we are. But I listen, I love your story, Laurie.
Thank you.
We're, not just because I know you, but I really do enjoy Path of the Pale Rider. I've read every single issue. I love the story. I love where you're going with it. I can't wait to see what happens. I don't want to know until issue 10. I won't figure it out. I won't figure it out. Like, trust me.
You want to know? I'll tell you. And he was like, no, don't tell me.
Do not tell me.
I'll tell you if you want to know.
No, don't tell me anything.
All right.
But Mike, yeah, no, definitely, dude. If you want to come on, I would love to talk because Michael has a great book as well called Technogods, and it's a very fun book that you should check it out, Laurie, when you get a chance.
What's it called? What's it called, Michael?
Technogods.
Technogods.
Yeah, he actually posted. Hold on a second. Where is he? Technogods. That's how you spell it.
Ah.
So yeah, no, check it out definitely. But Laurie, this has been fun. Thank you so much for taking me on your publishing journey.
Yeah.
Now
you as well.
I know you've dealt with different publishers. Where is Path now? Where are you publishing it through? Who are you
I'm with Rolling Squid Bones. And I kind of mentioned their name earlier because I have access to a bunch of their PDFs, which are in the PDF stretch goal. But they're wonderful. They're kind of like the problem child of indie, the redheaded stepchild of indie publishing, the one that you put in the tire and roll down the hill, publisher of indie publishing. But I love them because they're so funny. They take themselves seriously, but their marketing is just guerrilla marketing. It's fabulous. But kudos to them. I thank them so much. That 6x9 book is beautiful because of them. They're on, they have it up on Barnes and Nobles, and they have that 6x9 up on Amazon. So it's international at this point. People, if they have Kindle Unlimited, can download Path of the Pale Rider for free. It's amazing. So I'm really looking forward to growing with them. They have a ton of great titles, but also right around the corner, we're going to be doing the next trade. So that's supposed to hit sometime this year. And so Rolling Squid Bones will get that one as well. So we'll run a Kickstarter, but then it'll go up on Amazon too, and on barnesandnoble.com. And I'm looking forward to that. You know what I mean? Where people can just get their hands on it. Prime.
I'll tell you right now, it looks really, really great. Okay, so it's not, what I like about it is that it took me back to like when I started collecting, or when I started reading comics. It wasn't necessarily comics, it was like the Archie Digest books.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of like the Archie Digest. It's not as small as that, but the pages themselves do have that, they're not glossy, they're not like, it's not that. And I think that this story works with that look. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I really do like the way you put that together. So
I like
make sure. Now, can they get that on your website as well? Or do you have a website? I'm sorry.
I do have a website. It's just pathofthepalerider.com. And you don't do a good job. I don't think I even put issue 7 up there. I need to do that. That's on my bucket list after I finish this Kickstarter.
But if they want a copy of, obviously they can go to Amazon, but if they wanted to pick up a copy with maybe your signature on it, can they
so that I do have a few that not only did I sign and number, they're embossed, because I have an embosser with the Path of the Pale Rider logo. And so I did 10 of those. And so I will put those up on my website. I just have to pay attention to the inventory because I take those with me to Comic-Cons as well, and I sell them. So, but I can always order some more. I'll just have to do like a second printing. It'll be,
second printings are always good.
But you can, if you're interested in those, just hit me up. I have those. I have a few left that, I'm starting to discount the first print of the full-size trades because I have like what did I say, like 20 left. And I'm ready to, those need to go. Like,
Gotcha.
so they were 25 at one point. ASAP had them up at $30, and now I have them at 20 because I would really like them to go. The website does not have hot sauce.
Ooh.
The reason why is because I function under Texas cottage law. I am not FDA approved, so I am not allowed to have a single sale and ship to the 50 states. Getting an FDA approval is a lot of work. So Texas cottage law works for me. So if you want hot sauce, it is an add-on because what you're getting is a pledge with a free bottle of hot sauce.
Right.
Or you can come purchase it from me in person at the Comic-Cons. So that's how you get it from me.
And what is the next Comic-Con, Laurie?
I'm going to be at Mockingbird Lane in San Antonio area. That's the 27th, 28th, and 29th of March. I'm really looking forward to that one because I get to be a guest.
Look at that. We're
thinking right along the same lines there.
Right there, Mike. I got you.
Michael, are you in Texas?
Because he's in Jersey.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do a show next month in April, and I was supposed to see him next month, but the roof collapsed on the dome because of the snow. And so they had to cancel it. They had to cancel it, so they're moving it. They're doing a summer show, and then they're doing it next year in April. So,
darn.
So unfortunately,
that's actually. Do you remember last year when Texas had the really bad floods? Mockingbird Lane was supposed to be last year in September, and the floods actually did a lot of damage to the venue that they had planned. So now this is so I feel it happens, but as long as hopefully it goes smoothly and you get to go to that venue, the new venue. But that sucks. I feel bad.
No,
it's
sucks.
Kind of scramble.
Yeah, no, it really does. George, you're doing a summer show? No, I'm not. I'm rolling it over. I'm just gonna do next year because they gave us a choice. Like they're doing a summer 1-day show, and they gave us the choice to roll that table over half. They would take half of the whatever we paid for that show, and then the other half would go towards the next year's table. I'm just gonna do next year's table because I don't know what I'm doing in August yet. So, I'll be at Terrificon. Laurie, you got to come to the East Coast at some point. And do a con out here. It would be great.
I would love to if someone else would pay for my travel.
Yes, that's
my hotel stay.
That'd be nice.
And teleport me there and back.
Yeah, true.
Gosh.
But but Laurie, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Before I go, I just want to let people know that next week, issue number 6 of Wonder Duck will be in stores. So make sure you pick that up. Yeah. And you can pre-order the Shameless plug on my website, the graphic novel.
Very cool.
I'm gonna do it the size that you've done your book because I like
6x9.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm looking forward
to that. Yeah.
And I wanted to say thank you for having me on the show, for going live just on a random Monday, just so we could hang out and talk. And you're always supportive of my career, my Kickstarters, my story. And so thank you for that from the bottom of my heart.
No, listen, it's easy to support good stuff. It's easy to support that. It's hard to support stuff that's, I like it, but it's tough. It's hard. But I'm into the story. I'm into the story and listen, I love it. And Mike, Baltimore Con, yes, I think I'm gonna do it. I gotta sign up though. I haven't signed up for it yet. But yes, I think I'm gonna do Baltimore. And Mike, come on the show. Let's talk Technogods. Laurie, I will see you. Well, I'll see you. You'll be online on Wednesday, right? I believe.
Yes. So tomorrow. Okay.
Definitely tomorrow.
Tomorrow I have the Tuesday morning brew at 11 like normal.
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
I'm also going on Traversing the Stars. I can't remember if that's a recorded show. I think it is.
Okay.
So Traversing the Stars, that's with Jeff Haas. At 6 p.m. But if it's recorded, then it'll be out later.
Right.
And then Wednesday, Williams. I call it Williams Show because I'm not pushing any of the buttons. But I think I'm listed as co-host, which is fine. If I don't have to plan guests and I don't have to do work, then I'm there because I can just show up and smile and
that's it.
That's it.
Right.
That's but Sam is the first guest. So I'm going to do my best to try and get him to sing as I always do.
Karaoke.
That is my goal, to kind of derail the show and get him to sing karaoke.
Do your thing. And I'm supposed to be coming on March 18th. So that's
Oh,
what I'm
you
supposed
are?
to be on. Yeah.
Can I come as Karen?
Oh, the reunion special. I love it.
Last time I did that, it didn't go so well. So I don't know.
Oh,
I just
man.
showed up as Karen and it did not end very well.
Oh, Laurie, derailing shows left and right. Anyway,
I just can't contain myself sometimes.
I will be live on Catch the Craze tomorrow evening with my buddy Sam. So tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. If you're rewatching this tomorrow and it's the day, tomorrow night I'll be on, or in the evening, I'll be on Catch the Craze. But yeah, no, it's been fun. Thank you, Laurie. I appreciate you so much. And if you haven't done so yet, guys, please pledge to the campaign. It's in the show notes. Show some love. You have 3 days left, and let's get that next trading card. Let's do it.
I know. Let's get that poker card.
Let's get that poker card.
That's right.
All right, Laurie. I will talk to you later, guys. Peace. And let's end this.